What's up? Little midweek streamy weemy for the fans. Just checking in. Got a little AEW Dynamite on in the background. They got a good match tonight. Samoa Joe against Hook, the handsome-hearted devil. And a lot of people don't know this, but Hook is Taz's real-life son. Samoa Joe's AEW singles record, 26-6. What up, Mike DeVore? Hook's record's actually pretty good, 29-1. Ross Incognito, hey. I'm just chilling right now. Trying to get to my 4,000 hours. Oh, we got Christian Cage against Dustin Rhodes. We're going to pause this. It's too loud. Pam I Am, welcome to Daddy Man. Now, Pam I Am, why is your chat green? Oh, you're a member. Oh, I didn't even know I had members. Thank you for joining. I appreciate that. Of course, the biggest selling point of being a member in my streams is if you are ever in Los Angeles, I will get you into the Comedy Store free of charge. Well, I've been streaming, Mike, for I don't know, a couple months, and now my channel is monetized. So people, this is like a talk show run by the fans. And when I say my stream is monetized, what that means is you can super chat, which means your chat gets highlighted and priority. Now, right now, there's only 5 people in here, so I can pretty much read everything. But it does get overwhelming when there's like 40 people, and so I can't read everything. So, like, if you see how Pam's membership notification is bigger than everyone else's, she paid to be a member. I don't ask my fans for money. Think of me as a bartender. If you like what I'm doing, you tip. If you don't, you don't. I'm certainly not going to make my money streaming or make a living doing it, but some can, So, and I just talk. I answer questions. I mean, I don't know how you came on here, Mike. I am let me see how you, I don't know if you're coming in from the Dabbleverse, the MLC, Stuttering John, Steel Toe, Carl World. I try and keep this Dabbleverse light. I am watching AEW, but it's pretty loud, and I still haven't figured out a way as Syrian to figure out how to turn my TV down. The clicker doesn't necessarily line up. Yo, Cold C. Yeah, I mean, well, I'm behind. I just got home from walking the dog. So right now, the Christian Cage against Dustin Rhodes is about to start. And then, I'm not sure. I'm assuming Christian Cage won. I mean, Dustin Rhodes is he's kind of a jobber in AEW, but, I don't think he minds it. Of course, Christian Cage comes out to the ring with the villainous Nick Wayne and Luchasaurus. So getting back to Mike's question, we talk about whatever's in chat, wrestling, comedy, like, I get a lot of comedy questions. I am a 25-year comic, so I can answer most questions about comedy or roast battle or whatever. I actually did a roast with Gangrel. He was on the roast of the Iron Sheik. Nice guy. In a little over his head, to be honest with you, at the comedy roast. Oh, I'm glad, Mike. I mean, there's really no reason to not be cool. Um, let me throw my gum out. It's unprofessional. ACDC, 5150. Yes, Gangrel was a cool guy, but I'm nice to everyone until you give me a reason to not be nice, and then I lock in on you. And once I lock in, it's over. But I hold grudges. But my grudges, yes, it is a Kiss Zip Up into the World tour. There's a lot of people ask me about my background, although it's limited right now. That is a Kiss Destroyer signed CD by all four original members. The Sting mask right there. That is a Steve Stevens doll in the box because um, Lois broke my original figurine. That is a Ultimate Warrior doll, a Rick Rude doll, two Sting gloves right there, and of course the iconic Earl neon sign, a comic by the name of Joe Earl painted half Earl, half berry jelly, um, and yes, that Iron Sheik roast. Well, I don't think Brian Blair was at the one I was on. I think they did one in New York. I was not on that one. I was at the one um, at the Comedy Store. Yeah, Dante's the worst. Just a con artist manager, and I try and protect people. Being nice until it's like Patrick Swayze said in Roadhouse: "You're nice till it's time not to be nice," and that's how I am. Wonder how Sonny is doing in prison. I mean, I can't say I feel sorry for her. You know, I mean, she killed someone for God's sakes. Do you think Gene Simmons actually has an open marriage, or does he just say that to look cool? No, I've seen him around town with other women, not named Shannon, his wife. So, she knew the deal when she married him. I like Pam and Stranger, and I also like the fan fiction. Yeah, I mean, I don't like it when the fans get involved. Like, when they start, when the fans start having their own shows, like Joey C and some of the others, it's like, it's a dark world to come into. And, when you sit there and say, um, when you look into the Dabbleverse world, there's a lot of um, experienced comics. If you think about it. Oh, okay. Well, that's different. But I mean, if you look at the people who have shows, Kevin's been doing comedy 30 plus years. Bob's been doing comedy longer. Shuli's been doing comedy about 20 plus years. Chad's been doing comedy about 20 plus years. Melton about 20 plus years. I'm at about the 25-year mark. So, you gotta it's not gonna work out if you're just a fan trying to like one up the others I just named. Of course, I'm Dabbleverse friendly, but I'm not really in it. And if you've noticed, I don't go on anyone's shows anymore. Um, so, because I don't want to be, now they all stream snipe each other and talk shit. And it's like, I've said it every stream. You want to talk shit, say it to my face. Because I think it's a lot tougher to talk poorly about someone to their face. which is what I always kind of loved about roast battle. If you want to call Ralphie May fat, well, guess what? Ralphie's going to be on stage with you. Let's see you call him fat to his face. Are you going to call me old? I'm going to be on stage with you, and I probably look better than you, so it ain't going to end well, brother. So, but I love the chat. I mean, I like my chat. Do I wish there was more people in it? Sure, I do. What up, William Zoom? But I'd rather have 14 people in here and we're all just chopping it up. And, you know, you guys are supporting me, not just financially, but also, um, getting me closer to 4,000 hours. So then, I could put ads and they won't be obnoxious into my shorts and, videos. I mean, I don't really have a lot of videos that are, viral. I don't have any, to be honest with you. But, you can, once you can put ads on your videos, you can make $1,000 a month. I mean, that's 12 grand a year I wouldn't have. Oh, I love that song. You Think You're Tough. I actually, if you go on my shorts and my under my YouTube shorts section, I did a video of some of the shooting locations for You Think You're Tough. That was filmed mostly on Sunset and Melrose. I'm late. Hello, Jay Santos. Yeah, I hate it when the phone updates and it kind of forces you to update it. It just doesn't. Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I was walking on Melrose 2 nights ago, and that scene where who was it? Mick? No, not Mick. Tommy Lee and Nikki Sixx pull over Bobby Blotzer and Robin Crosby. That location still looks 100% the same. Aye, aye, Hawkeye. Earl the Pearl is in the house. Just checking in and hope you guys are doing well on a Wednesday night. I really enjoy streaming. Thank you to Pam I am for I think Pam, you are my first and only member. Yeah, I used to run into Melrose Larry Green all the time. Um, I haven't seen him in a couple years though. Last time I saw Melrose Larry Green was at the Rainbow when I was dining with my good friend Stepan Adika, bass player extraordinaire. So far, so good, Jay. I mean, it's been 24 hours. I mean, uh, I heard through the grapevine Larry Green has gone a little off the deep end. So, we'll see. Hopefully, he gets his life straightened out. I think Howard Stern kind of abandoned him. Howard, once he got big time, like, I mean, big time, he kind of let the Whack Packers go. And although I don't think Larry Green was in the Whack Pack per se, he basically was. Howard never really talks about that stuff anymore, or Daniel Carver, all that stuff. So hopefully, Larry is doing well. I mean, I don't find him funny at all anymore. He's kind of turned into what he rallied against in his prime, which is kind of funny. We've all seen the tape where he walks through the Sirius offices when he gets in the morning, and no one can be in the hallway while he's walking. It's like, dude, you're not that big of a deal. Good evening, Chris Mack. Welcome to the Earlverse. I was gonna do a live watch of AEW Dynamite, but I got held up at the dog park. ACDC 5150 $1.99. Let me hit the like button or the heart. Starting workout tomorrow with ACDC Flick of the Switch. That's a great song. I mean, they have a fantastic catalog. I think my go-to ACDC workout song is the live version of um, Dirty Deeds. I like Money Talks. Obviously, Black and Black's a real heart pumper. Brittany, it's all right to just lurk. Hampton's Howie Stern, 100% AC/DC. They, I don't know. He's changed, but most people change when they make the kind of money that Howard Stern is making. I mean, I'll give Rogan this. He's pretty much always been the same. Um, Thunderstruck's a great up-tempo song. Who Made Who is kind of a hidden gem, if you will. You know, it's got the real funky bass line. And many, I mean, they have a lot of, geez, I mean, been around for 50 years. You're going to have some songs. Um, Cold Sea, I Don't Try to Be Funny. I just enjoy telling truths about myself, or Saint Ranger, because we're almost mid 60s and the past was our fun times. He can be funny though. Who Made Who? Whole lot of Rosie. I mean, we could devote this whole stream to talking about how great AC/DC is. Hello, good evening, Dottie Three Rips. Got some women in the chat. You know, I might lead the streamers in female to male chats. I mean, I would say we've got maybe 25% women listening at all times. I'm trying to think of some other. Um, Let me see. I'm trying to think of some other good AC/DC. Shook Me All Night Long. I love that's a good workout song. Great video. I don't listen to music when I work out. What I do is I have my iPad and I watch YouTube videos. I'll watch metal videos. I'll watch even like off the grid songs like Golden Earrings, Twilight Zone. That's a great video. And I'll watch hockey fights. Um, and I did a stream the other night that, it was okay. I mean, where my elliptical is in the kind of in the corner, so it's a little dark. I mean, I guess I could put the lights on, but I don't really want to work out uh, with the lights on. So, but thank you very much for Pam I Am for being the first member of my YouTube channel, and AC/DC, as always, thank you for your tip. Remember, it's not a donation. It's a tip. I'm a bartender right now, serving comedy. I have not. Oh, I seen Danish once last week at the Comedy Store, but I'll be honest with you, it's getting a little hot here. I'm gonna take my jacket off. I don't get involved in the drama, and I don't know what went down with Danish O'Neill and Beach Cops. I got. I can't do that right now, Dottie. I got my own drama to figure out, so I don't. I hope they figure it out one day. I mean, they'll be friends for life, but when you work with someone for a long time, you do hit an inevitable bump in the road. And I'm sure 22 Tigmeister. What do you work for, Enron? Bob Probert, King. Some of my favorite Bob Probert fights, I would say the three he had with Troy Crowder. I mean, you got to understand that first Bob Probert fight where Troy Crowder beat him in New Jersey I think it was opening night of the season, 1988, I want to say. And I remember the Kings had a game that night, and I forget who they were playing, but I remember the Crowder Probert fight was the talk of the arena. Like people were walking around going, "Hey," now this is before really YouTube, so like it was just rumors and, "Hey, Probert got his ass kicked tonight. Probert finally lost," and um, I think obviously fight tapes. I used to get fight tapes from the back of the Hockey News from some dude named I think Andy Strong. Um, excuse me, and and then they had the rematch 50 days later where they fought twice in Detroit. Probert won the first fight that night in Detroit, and then, arguably Crowder won the second one, but he did kind of jump Probert. But Probert jumped people too. So, Troy Crowder, arguably went 2 out of 3 against a prime Bob Probert. Um, Ty fights, he had some good fights with Probert. Yeah, great documentary on Probert. I mean, I can't imagine fighting a coked up Probert. I mean, that if you go back and watch ACDC and anyone else who's interested in hockey fights, watch the third fight with Troy Crowder. And toward the end of the fight, and Crowder had knockout power, he landed a right hand to Probert's chin that would have knocked out any professional boxer. I mean, Probert's head literally went, and Probert didn't move. Um, I mean, I would say the top 5 fighters of all time uh, in their prime. So every name I'm saying is in their prime. I would actually say Joey Koser was ahead of Probert because Probert couldn't really hurt you. I mean, he hit hard, absolutely. But the worst you're going to get in a Probert fight is a broken nose. And to a hockey player, that's nothing. But Koser could, he detached Brad Dalgarno's orbital bone, basically ended Jim Kite's career, um, ended not Larry Playfair, but his brother Jim Playfair's career. We are talking hockey fights, but we could talk anything. Throw out subjects. I mean, I did have a rule that any Dabbleverse questions are now $5 and up. It's not to take advantage of people, but I try and keep this Dabbleverse light. Yeah, I mean, Joey Koser broke. I know who you're talking about, beloved chatter, and hello. Joey Koser broke Craig Cox's helmet in half. Of course, I'm partial to Craig Cox because he was from Chula Vista, California. Not many hockey players are from California. Right now, I think there's a few, but probably the most known one is Trevor Moore of the LA Kings, who is from Thousand Oaks. Um, I'm trying to think. So I would go Koser, Probert, Clark Gillies. I would say in his prime was very, very tough. Ben Wilson of the Flyers, very tough. And the dark horse, Barry Beck. Now, Barry Beck didn't fight a lot, but he didn't have to. And I can't find one fight that Barry Beck lost straight up. McSorley, great fighter. Um, Theater of Pain or Shout at the Devil. I like Theater of Pain. Well, Tiger Williams fought a lot, but he wasn't a great fighter. I mean, there's a lot of guys. Jeff Odgers fought a lot. He was a horrible fighter. Um, but yeah, Tom Wilson's he's dangerous because he can. Here's a. There's. Usually when you're a dirty player, and Tom Wilson does dirty hits. He's been suspended like 7 or 8 times. Um, they can't fight good, but Tom Wilson right now probably the best fighter in the league too. So if he doesn't need a knee hit on you, what are you going to do? He's probably going to kick your ass. So I mean, there are some other good fighters. Curtis McDermott I think he's on Colorado now. Um, who else? Ryan Reeves. He's faded a little bit. Um, uh, yeah, I mean that's great, beloved chatter. I mean an Ovechkin goal and a Tom Wilson fight is it's pretty good to see. So, but we don't have to talk hockey fights. Are you a Dio? Yeah, I like the early Dio. I was actually the usher at Jimmy Bain's funeral, who was Dio's bass player. I love Vivian Campbell, Dio. Like when Vivian Campbell left, I lost a little bit of the interest. My favorite Dio song is Mystery. Great song. Ever hear of the Peoria Rivermen? Yes, the St. Louis Blues affiliate. Um, so Darren Kimball was on the Peoria Rivermen. I think Craig Cox might have been on the Peoria Rivermen. Craig Cox kind of bounced around. He was on Vancouver and San Jose. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Anthony Peluso was I believe, a recent tough guy um, who was. I saw him fight. I went to a game in Winnipeg. I saw Anthony Peluso when he was with the Capitals. No, no, he was with the Winnipeg Jets at that time. Fought my friend Aaron Volpatti. Read this book. It's a story that could basically be called resilience because of the story that Aaron, got a horrible burn accident. He was told he'd never play hockey again, let alone play in the NHL. And he played, I think, about 5 years in the NHL. But I saw that fight with Peluso and Aaron live, and I'd never, like, you could literally hear the hands hitting the face. Like, it was like, so, yeah, I mean, I'm a big hockey guy. So, and I know there's so many great fighters that, it was Tony Twist, but he was kind of roided out. George Larac was a great fighter. Donald Brashear was a good fighter, although um, people don't like the way Brashear fought because he would basically hug you to death and give you noogies. Yeah, I love Lucic, but then, I don't know if you know about this beloved chatter. I believe he had a domestic violence incident, which I am not down with. So it's hard for me to like a guy who does that. But, let's hear his side of the story too. I don't think he's played since the incident. So that's usually not a good sign. But yeah. Oh, I mean, in his prime, he was a tough, tough dude. I mean, I can't think, he was like basically a cleaner version of Tom Wilson. I mean, the Kings had him for a year, and he played quite good for the Kings. He was on a line with Kopitar and I think Gaborik. This is when the Kings were kind of holding on to the Stanley Cup years, but it just didn't. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for them. Um, but now it's they're coming on, even though they've hit a rough stretch as of late. You mean PK Subban? I don't know who PJ Subak is. He must be a new player. I'm just kidding, Jay Santos. So he's a great player, but he's kind of one of those guys that he got traded a lot. He was Montreal, Nashville, Jersey. I mean, when you're as good as he is, and you're still getting traded a lot, that's not a good sign. I had a friend of mine who used to play with him in Montreal. He's a great player, great guy, but he sucks up a lot of oxygen in the room, which means he's loud, abrasive, look at me type. And I can imagine if you're a professional athlete, you kind of get, uh, you don't want to be around someone like that. But great player in his heyday. I saw him play in Nashville a couple of years ago. They loved him in Nashville. They loved him in Montreal. I think they liked him in Jersey. I think he was, one of those guys that the fans liked his brashness and, attitude. But if you were a teammate, just like shut the fuck up and play. I'm around comics like that where, some comics I'm actually friends with, but they don't know how to be quiet. Like they can't be quiet off stage. And they think, especially roast battle comics. I was on a show a couple months ago, um, and it was Patton Oswalt, me, a couple other people, and me and Patton Oswalt were friends. So before he got there, the other comics in the room were kind of roasting me, and it's like I'm just being quiet because like I didn't like any of the comics in the room, and I was almost about ready to engage, And then Patton walks in, and they start roasting me even more, like, making fun of me, and Patton's looking at me like, "Who are these fucking bozos?" And I just let them all hang themselves. Um, so I get why some of his teammates did not enjoy the experience playing with him. Like, PK seems like the type of guy that if you're sleeping on the team plane, he wakes you up to tell you stories. It's like, "Dude, I'm sleeping, bro. I don't give a fuck who you were porking last night." Oh, yeah, I mean, Langway, I think he won 4 Stanley Cups in Montreal, then, he never could quite, get it together with the Capitals, but very tough guy. Kevin Greavy, the guy who played on the Bullets, number 35. Chelios is, I've met him once or twice, a great guy. His brother's kind of a dick, Steve Chelios, because he was a hockey player too, but obviously he never got to the heights of his brother, and you could tell that bothered him. Like, I'm sure everywhere he goes, no one asks him about him. They're like, "Hey, how's your brother?" Um, oh, that's cool, beloved chatter. I grew up I mean, I'll always be a Lakers fan, but my second team, because I loved Wes Unseld, was the Bullets, and I liked that team they had. Was it Bobby Dandridge, Elvin Hayes, Unseld, Kevin Greavy, Ballard? Was it Greg Ballard? Uh, oh yeah, I mean Marcel Dion. People forget he was the last scoring champion before Gretzky came in. And if he would have played in New York or Toronto, I mean, he'd be a lot more known. But like, I mean, the Kings, arguably had the greatest line of all time, the Triple Crown line with Dave Taylor, the ultimate corner guy, and Charlie Simmer, who scored more garbage goals than any player in the world. Um, but because they played in LA in like the late '70s, early '80s, it was pretty rough. And a great thing about Marcel Dion, if you look up, I guess you would look up Kings Rangers brawl. And I was at this game. I was a little kid. There was a wild brawl in the first round. And now back then, you could have one played 16. So you could have the Kings playing the Rangers in the first round. And there was a wild brawl that got started by inappropriate Earl alumni Ed Boxcar Hospodar, where he fought Marcel Dion for about 10 minutes. They kept getting separated, then they get back together, they get separated, get back together. And Dion, Hospodar was not the toughest guy in the league, but he was top, I would say at that time, easily top 10, possibly top 5, until Clark Gillies broke his jaw. And Dion held his own against a very, very tough guy in the boxcar. So check that out, though. It's a 9-minute wild brawl. Started off by Barry Beck, some might say sucker punching Rick Chartraw. And then, ironically enough, a couple years later, they became teammates. It's like, ironically enough, the man who broke Ed Hospodar's face, Clark Gillies, him and Hospodar became teammates in Buffalo. Always funny when that happens. Chelios told me when he drank in bars with Probert, guys would be hammered and challenge Proby. Mistake. Because not only was Probert drunk, but he was on what they call the cocaine. And I can't imagine fighting Bob Probert when he's on the yayo. I mean, I just can't imagine. Like, you're not going to hurt the fucking guy. I mean, look at some of those. I mean, I'm telling you, look at the last Crowder Probert fight and the third fight in Detroit. So second fight in Detroit, third fight overall. And Crowder, look at what Troy Crowder did to Jeff Chikrin with the same punch. Not broke his nose in half, like literally beyond broke his nose. I mean, I would believe that. I mean, he wasn't muscular, but he wasn't skinny either. I mean, I think players in that era of hockey probably experimented with growth hormone, GHB, um, D-ball was a popular steroid. I think Anavar was another one. Can you imagine fighting a guy who's drunk, probably coked up, and on roids? I would not want to fight that guy. And what's even scarier is Kosar was probably the tougher dude. I mean, Kosar hurt people. If you look at another great fight with Probert, it's Probert and Gary Nyland in Chicago. I don't know what. Yeah, just look up Probert Nyland, Nylund, and Probert landed a full uppercut because uh, Nyland was tugging on his shirt, and at one point he puts his head down like that, and Probert just bam. But Nyland got up pretty fast, and you could tell his nose was fucked up. But if Kosar landed that same shot, it's a different story. I mean, Kosar hit Jim Playfair so hard. I think the urban legend is he had three of Jim Playfair's teeth in his knuckles. Like, do you know how hard you have to hit someone to have their teeth embed in your knuckles? That is, as I say, wackadoony doon. I'd rather fight a 6'5", 320-pound offensive lineman than a 170-pound NHL player. Well, another guy on that note, ACDC, and he's not known to a lot of younger fans, is look up Eddie Johnstone. He was probably 5'9", 170, maybe even a little skinnier than 170. He took on everyone. Same thing with Jungle George McPhee, the GM of the Las Vegas Golden Knights. He was about 5'9", 170. Hobie Baker winner, I believe. So he was a good player, but I think when he got into the NHL, he realized, hey, fuck, man, I'm going to have to fight. And he would fight. And another great fight to look at, and a lot of these are Ranger fights, but is maybe one of the biggest upsets in the history of hockey is Larry Melnick, who was about 6 feet 180, taking on Dave Brown at center ice at MSG, and Melnick took it. And this is when Brown was the heavyweight champ. I mean, just before Probert started dominating. So Scott Robinson, you don't want to mess with Jeremy Piven. I could kick Piven's ass. I might not look that tough, but um, I can handle Piven easily. Um, Luke Robitaille was a really great all-around player. Well, he was more of a goal scorer. He wasn't the best. No, Piven does plugs. He wasn't a great defensive player, but a goal scorer, one of the best of his era. I mean, I think he had over 600 goals, if I'm not mistaken. So, Blackhawks need a goon. Nah, I mean, Bedard's gonna get hit regardless of if they had Stu Grimson. Oh shit. Saint Ranger, my second member. Thank you, Saint Ranger. Um, I don't have a lot of members. I think it's just you and I am Pam. But I appreciate that. What up, that Chicano dude? But the biggest perk of being a member in my stream is if you're ever in Los Angeles, I'll take care of you free, oh charge. At the Comedy Store. A beloved chatter now. I'm getting memberships now. This is kind of cool. I try and give you guys more bang for the buck. I don't want to do member only chats a lot just because right now those would be pretty light. But yeah, I mean, I don't advertise them that much because, like I said, I don't want to gouge my fans. I mean, you guys have been very nice and generous with the super chats. I think the biggest um, benefit of being a member is I will take care of you at the Comedy Store if you're ever in Los Angeles. I can't do. Oh, thank you. Oh my God, Saint Ranger gifted 5 Earl Skakel memberships. Thank you. Um, Now, who knows? Maybe I will. Well, no, I'm not for a hand job. That's at least $100 super chat. Hello, and no, no one give me $100 right now. I don't want it. I'll return it. Thank you, beloved chatter. You're becoming the star of this chat. And thank you for everyone. I really, to be honest with you, I got very discouraged when I was having trouble getting monetized. You know, that is a lot of members. So thank you, beloved chatter and Saint Ranger. I very much appreciate um, the love, and you know, I am truly humbled and honored that people would pay me for my work. But it is nice. Um, and the fact that Peter Chicken Man Brennan is a member now, I'm scared. I don't know, to be honest with you, Jay Santos. Maybe Saint Ranger or beloved chatter would know. Oh, I think you are a member. It says I see a star by your name, so I think you got gifted a member by um, either beloved chatter or Saint Ranger. Oh, so it was beloved chatter. Um, thank you. But thank you all. I mean, I really, um, I've done comedy for 25 years, and I would say for the first probably 15 to 17, I paid to do it. And even when I did get a lot of money from Roast Battle, it really wasn't fun, to be honest with you, because as you guys know, without getting into that shit again, it was very, the odds were stacked against me. So I didn't enjoy the process. I mean, I really only won money on Roast Battle because I kept winning. Now, working on the jellies with Tyler the Creator was awesome, to be honest with you. It was really just a um, fun experience. ACDC, 4.99. Just because you're a man's man and a man of the people, I can't stand Jimmy Failla though. Can you remind me one more time, ACDC, who that is? I keep thinking you're meaning to type in Jimmy Fallon. And thank you very much for the tip. I have to learn from William Zoom. It's not a donation, it's a tip. Uh, yeah, see, this is what it's a thank. Please, to everyone who became a member because of Beloved Chatter and Saint Ranger, please thank them. JC, I'm sorry. So many members coming in, I didn't know what to do. Earl, Ian Bagg, and Kelly Taylor would be a great lineup. I've opened up for Ian Bagg. He is very good. I got to be honest with you. I don't know who Kelly Taylor is, but I will assume that she doesn't know who I am. So it's all relative. I always want to know that if I ever say I don't know who someone is, that I'm like brushing them off, like, oh, I'm big time. I don't know who they are. Uh, I just assume they don't know who I am either. Oh, I just see. I didn't. I know nothing about that, beloved chatter. Um, oh my God, Pam, I am gifted 5 Earl Skakel memberships. Who knows? Maybe we will do an all membership chat. But I don't want to leave out the people who haven't tipped or whatever, because I don't want people to think I'm just trying to gouge people. I don't think anyone thinks that, but that's why I try and read a fair amount of the free questions or whatever. But I also want the people who pay to feel like, hey, I paid, um, for not preferential treatment, but So I try and please everyone, but it's hard for sure. Um, Thoughts on Taylor Tomlinson's new show? I mean, I hope it works. I mean, she's always been incredibly nice to me at the store. I mean, I don't know if she's known enough for people to tune in, but I know she has a lot of people in her corner, like Whitney Cummings, and I don't, I but she's very likable and she's very funny. So I hope it works out. I haven't watched it yet, so and I probably won't. I don't watch late night talk shows. Um, but thank you, Pam. Thank you, Pam and Saint Ranger. And I'm not trying to steal you guys away from another show, but as you guys know, um, yeah, but I want you guys to get a ton, beloved chatter. Um, I don't have merch, so I would say, well, if you buy this type of membership or whatever, you get a free T-shirt. I don't have T-shirts, to be honest with you. I don't have any merch. So yeah, yeah. I mean, I think I will do that, Brittany, from time to time, just to give you guys value. I mean, maybe Friday nights. I'm laughing at the chicken man. Maybe Friday nights we'll do members only chats. And that's not a way to force people who aren't members to join. I'm not making a living from super chats or memberships, but I do very much appreciate them because it's nice to be tipped for your time. Um, how about Esther's movie? I never saw Esther's movie. I saw Esther's TV show at Benji, and I mean, I love Esther, but I mean, it didn't hold me. But I'm also not the market for Esther or Peter Chicken Man Brennan. Earl, did you ever see Magic Mike Young make guys' dates disappear at the store? Uh, let's just say Mike Young's very good with women. Uh, thank you, beloved chatter. AK's Ray's head roast joke writer. Is the Stevie Lou Chad roast still happening Tuesday? I'm supposed to judge it, but they never get back to me. Thank you for whoever gifted me a membership. I don't think my account is verified or set up though. I mean, I would guess it's either Pam I am, beloved chatter, or Saint Ranger, random guy. Um, yes, beloved chatter. And there's the best shirt on. Well, I don't want to plug these guys because they've sent me shitty merchandise before, but I am going to buy them. The wrestler MJF has a shirt and it says, I'm a poor. So I'm going to get that. Well, Pam, I try and keep it friendly in here. And, I know these streams aren't 5 hours. I can't do 4 or 5 hour streams like Kevin or Melton does. I can't. Um, Even if you guys were paying me nonstop, I couldn't do it. Because then I would literally just be doing it for the money. So, okay. Thank you, Jay, for that. Oh, okay. The roast is on. Um, that's good. That I can go on because it's about a half hour, and then I can Sergio, I think there should be a button somewhere. Um or someone can gift you, like Pam. Not, I'm not saying you guys, not Pam, beloved chatter, Saint Ranger again, but like someone can gift memberships. Oh, good, Dottie, 3 reps. I mean, I'm going to do just about 10 more minutes because I know I almost said Chuck Zito. Pat Dixon is going on at, I believe, 8. It's 6:37 my time. So, yeah, I mean, that's also what I'm here for. Not to be a therapist for your personal problems, because I'm definitely not uh, um, qualified for that. But, if I can um, make you forget about your problems for an hour, uh, that's what I'm here for. I mean, when I have bad days, I listen to MLC or music or a comedy album. So my way of giving back. And yeah, yeah, okay. Well, I don't like to cut in on his time. Not that Pat would mind if I took 21 listeners from him, but I don't. I just believe in the right and wrong way to do things. At some point, and I'm sure someone is on right now. You know, I mean, I'm in LA, so if you look at it from my perspective, you've got Shuley starts at 6 a.m. my time. I think Melton starts at 8 a.m. my time. And then about 10 or 11, Chad starts. And then MLC starts, and they go for 3 to 4 hours. And then Ray starts, and then Pat starts. So if I did this just completely, I'm not going to go on if anyone else is on. I'd be going on at 1 in the morning my time to 3 people because all the East Coast people are sleeping. So I'm trying not to step on other people's toes, but at some point you just got to dive in and say, "Fuck it, I'm going on." Peter Chicken Man Brennan, $2. Earl, will you ever bring up Neil as Kevin's brother? Probably not. I don't think Neil would like that. Well, I try and be Brittany, but at some point you do have to kind of like, you're always going to be on when someone else is on. So I don't know who else is on right now. To be honest with you, I don't care. This time is good for me, and I think I tried to go on once after Pat, and like I said, at that point, because Pat does like a 3-hour stream. Um, at that point, it's 1 or 2 in the morning on the East Coast in Canada, so um, I don't. I got to go on at some point. And my stream isn't exactly bonkers, with chatters, but it is growing a little bit. I mean, Sunday nights will always be my flagship stream, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, unless I have a gig or there's something going on. I mean, like the Super Bowl. Yeah, I mean, the Super Bowl probably be a good night to stream, but I'm assuming MLC will stream a special Super Bowl show, and Melton probably will, and I'll take a hit that night because I'm new to the monetized streaming game anyway. Not to the streaming game, but to the monetized streaming game. So I will. Okay, I mean, I know ACDC. The stream I did with Pat was about 2.5 hours, and it was great because I don't really know Pat, so it was just kind of. I was a little worried that we wouldn't not not that we wouldn't get along, but we wouldn't have chemistry. But it was great. I think I'm going on Friday. I think he has another guest, but he said come on. So I think Friday night I'm going on Pat's show. Are you going? Are you going on Pat's show? Hello, Dottie Three Rips. Okay, you're talking with Spurg. So I enjoy people. Like I said, if they're nice to me, Pat's always been cool to me. We haven't interacted a lot. Um, and obviously I'm a fan of Kevin's, and even Kevin and Peter Chicken Man Brennan will verify this. Even Kevin was like, Earl, don't get too close to me. I'll turn at you at some point. See, I like that honesty. I like Pat, I like everyone really. I mean, the only guy I've never spoken with is Carl. Pew, pew, pew. I think I talked to Stiolto maybe once or twice on Twitter. Never spoken to April. I don't like messaging guys' girlfriends or wives. It just love you, Earl. MLC universe. I dabble in the Dabbleverse. I don't like going on the shows anymore. Um, just because everyone stream snipes, and then it just gets. Then I get roped into the roast, and it's like, fuck off. So, I've got to message my friend Christy Miller. I'm being on Christy Miller's podcast at 7 o'clock. Let me just tell her what I'm doing. I hate to do this and Talk, finishing up. Christy Miller, one of my longtime comedy friends. Peter Chicken Man Brennan, do you think Emily let Kevin perform at the store as a pop in or on someone's show? Uh, that's a tough one. Um, I mean, I get along with everyone. Like, I don't care what someone. I'm going back to ACDC's post. I don't care what Ray's politics are because I'll probably never talk politics with Ray. I don't talk politics in general, to be honest with you. So, I mean, I like me politically, I don't like talking politics, but just because it's so divisive, I'm kind of in the middle. Like, I don't like Trump. I don't like Biden. You know, I voted for Trump in the last election because, frankly, selfishly speaking, his financial policies are better for me. But I'm embarrassed that, I mean, I still haven't gotten over, grab 'em by the pussy line. It's like, um, I got nieces, I got sisters. Like, if I saw a guy like Trump or Epstein trying to pick up on my sister, I'd fucking throw him off a balcony. So you're telling me there's a chance? I'm not telling you that, Peter. Um, ACDC. Sorry, I meant Pat. Oh, yeah. I mean, but I don't even know what Pat's politics are. Yeah, I mean, I try and avoid politics or religion. I mean, it's funny you mentioned religion. I was an altar boy for I don't know, whatever. I don't know, 7 or 8 years. Raised hardcore Catholic. My mom's actually Jewish, so Um, well, RFK Jr. would be a special exemption. But I would be honest with my cousin, be like, dude, I don't vote. My first question to RFK Jr. is going to be, why is the American political system so fucked up? And then let him talk. No one wants to hear me talk. They want to hear him talk. Um, I mean, I don't know, Ambrose, if I'm killing it. 24 now, bitch. Um, I mean, 24 is a lot for me. Do I wish it was 240? Absolutely, I do. But you know, I'm relatively new to the monetized streaming game. I mean, I've been streaming consistently, probably for about 3 months. Um, but to show you how good the streams are doing lately, like I'm almost at uh, 4,000 hours, and I just got to 3,000. So now I guess when you hit 4,000 hours, your shorts get monetized, which, my shorts do decent. I would say they average about 3,000 views, which is a lot for me. So, we'll see what happens. I mean, um, and I think the all time, now here's the weird thing, and I got to get ready for my friend Christy Miller's podcast, but so we'll just do a few more minutes. Like last Sunday, I think I had my all time top 47 people in chat. But my friend came on and said, "Bro, you had 93 people in there." I'm like, "Oh, it only showed 47 for me." So I don't know if I see lesser numbers than you guys, or I don't think I would have definitely known I had 93 people in there. Did you see my video of you singing Crash Test Dummies? Where did you send it? I don't think I did see it. I mean, he's not going to win, Ross Dogs, but he'll cause a stink in the vein of Ross Perot, Steve Forbes, he's not gonna he got like 7%. Um, oh yeah, I mean, I was the same way, Jay. I went to church every Sunday at 5:30. When my parents moved to Florida, I became an usher, and I only became an usher to meet the pussy. There's some hot girls at my church, like hot girls. I wonder who his running mate would be. Well, I mean, we don't have to worry about it, to be honest with you. But he strikes me as the type that would have a wild card as the VP. Like, I think RFK Jr. likes causing the stink that he does. So it will be, yes, please tweet it to me. And it helps if you put dot, like a period in front of the at. So apparently that gets you into the front of someone's Twitter page. Can you use the other account on your laptop? I don't know what you're talking about. Charlie, don't serve. St. Ranger. I was a Lutheran, but went to Catholic school from 6th to 12th grade. Yeah, I mean, I was. Oh my God, Dottie, 3 rips. Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner for super chat of the night. Dottie, 3 rips, $20. Thanks, Earl. Love your chats. Thank you. I very much appreciate whether it's $1.99, $20, gifted memberships. I promise you this: I will never ask you. I will not panhandle for money in these streams. Like my friend William Zoom said, I am just. I'm a bartender. Tip me if you like what you're hearing, and if not, I'll read most of the free chats. Of course, like when it gets to over 100, it's not going to be super chat only, but like it does get tough to like even with 25 people, I'm trying to make sure I read all and whatnot, make sure everyone feels included. Xbox before 2010 had fun games. I loved Ghost Recon back then. St. Ranger and I had so much fun. I'm a PlayStation 5 guy right now. I think if his voice would better, RFK would have a chance. I don't think he would, Ross. It's just not, he's too much into the vaccine and conspiracy stuff, and that, like, I don't want to talk politics necessarily, but that's a small base. Um, Ross Dogs, $5. Your thoughts on rogue elements in the audience live streaming stand-up sets without their knowledge? I mean, I don't think anyone's stand-up should be streamed unless they know about it. Um, well, I appreciate you, Dottie. I appreciate everyone, really. But like I said, it's nice to be paid finally after more or less 25 years of doing comedy for free. Now you might say that's on me for bad business, which it absolutely is. But um, I've never claimed to be a great businessman. Whoa, Dottie, 3 reps. What are you trying to make me look cheap? What am I, a schmuck on wheels? Where is that line from? Schmuck on wheels. So wait, is that no, don't tell me Goodfellas, Maury's Wigs. What am I, schmuck on wheels? Do you have VR? I don't, Brittany. I can barely fucking log on to do a live stream. Now, if RFK had Earl's voice, beloved chatter, he might have a chance. Um, but he doesn't. Uh, yep. Yes, yes. Well played. You should post your show dates here. Well, I don't do the road a lot, but since you asked, now Christy Miller's podcast is in. We'll do 5 more minutes, and then I got to hop over to Christy's. Earl Skankle. What's the date today? The 17th. I don't like doing this typing. I'm not a good multitasker. I don't think you can tell I'm not good at multitasking. There we go. Uh, so tomorrow night. Yes, it is a good bunch in here. See, this is what I want. Like I said, would I like to have 280 people in here? Absolutely, I would. Um, but I'd rather have 30, 40 people. Everyone's getting along. There's no drama. Um, and we just all get along. And this is really a talk show that you guys are in charge of. I'm almost the guest in my own stream because I'll talk about anything. Obviously, I'm more knowledgeable in some things than I am others. Comedy, hockey, 80s metal. I mean, I don't think too many people like talking about roast battle anymore, but I can talk about that. I only helped start the fucking show. Um, I mean, well, beloved chat, leather pants, absolutely. Spurg Snake, the intimate Earl streams. Well, I wish they were intimate with a few more people. But listen, I'm happy. Like I feel good inside right now. I mean, I streamed for about an hour, had a great time. Hopefully, you guys got value out of it. Saint Ranger, beloved chatter, Pam, I am. Thank you. I'm going to thank everyone who those three gifted memberships. So thank those people. ACDC, thank you for your tips, I should say. Peter Chicken Man, Brennan, of course, Dottie Three Rips, Ross Dogs. You guys, I thank you. That's all I can do. And I can give you guys free tickets to the Comedy Store anytime I'm performing. Uh, of course, priority goes to members, and I do mean that. Um, I don't. I'm trying to think of what other things I could give to you guys. When we get enough members, we'll do maybe maybe a Friday night membership only stream. Or maybe like I think beloved chatter said, wait till the stream gets a little more popular. A Michael Skakel interview that might be Patreon only. I don't know if I want the stink of that on my name. Um, so just give me your best wishes. Absolutely. I wish everyone in chat, the beloved chatter, Jay, everyone right now listening. I hope you guys all accomplish what you guys want. As a struggling stand-up comic for a very long time, maybe the first 10 years, I absolutely was just like, I don't know if I can do this much longer. Um, I would, I'd be really nowhere without. You want a Jeff Ross interview? I can tell you that will never happen. Oh, Ross Incognito, yeah, or Ross Dogs, yeah. I thought you wanted me to interview Jeff Ross. I can tell you, I mean this. It's Christy Miller's podcast, which I have to go because it's 6:55, and I don't want to be late for her podcast because it's her time. But let me see. Uh, she just sent me the link. I think it's on StreamYard, to be honest with you. Um, my AOL sucks. So, oh, he's the worst. That picture I saw, someone sent me a picture of him with all these famous people at a dinner. Fuck that clown. Um, right, Christy Miller. I'm trying to think. It's on StreamYard. So yeah, I guess check that out. But I'm gonna go now. Thank you guys, because it'll probably take me 20 minutes to figure out how to get on StreamYard. I love you all. We'll probably do a Friday night um, chat. Although I think I'm doing Pat Dixon, so we'll figure it out. And then, of course, Sunday nights is my flagship show. I thank you guys very much for all the tips. It's unnecessary. You don't have to do it, but I do appreciate it. So, does she have a YouTube channel? I mean, look up Christy Miller. That's Christy Miller. And thank you. Have a good night, everyone. And I'll see you soon.